All right. This is what we're going to do today. We are going to take what we learned last week about solving multi-step equations, and we're going to amp it up quite a bit. I like to do things. I like to be a little bit more difficult. I figured, you know, life was life was difficult for me. Why not make it difficult for you? We're going to do 10 problems. And yes, it's going to be Algebra 2 problems, but I believe in you. You should believe in yourself. So let's start at the very beginning. We have 4n minus 2n equals 4. Right away, I see two like terms that I can combine. I have 4 nickels, take away 2 nickels, that gives me 2 nickels equals 4. Is n all by itself? No. What's in the way? 2 is being multiplied to n. How do I get rid of 2 that's being multiplied to n? Divide by 2, divide by 2, n equals 2. Not bad. A nice little start there. See, if you're like, Algebra 2, I can't do this. Well, you just did. You just did. Look at the problem on the right, problem 2. I have negative 12 equals 2 plus 5v plus 2v. Oh, look, v's are right next to each other. So nothing happens with the negative 12. Nothing happens with the 2. But 5v right next to 2v is 7v. So I can combine those like terms. And now what I have is a regular old two-step equation. So I'm going to just do the rest. I have a v that's not by itself. I have a 7 being multiplied and a 2 that's floating around. Always get rid of the number that's floating around. So I'm going to subtract both sides by 2, subtract both sides by 2, and cross you out. Okay, negative 12 minus 2 is negative 14. Equals drops down. 7v drops down. Is v all by itself? No. What's in the way? 7 is being multiplied to v. Divide both sides by 7. Divide both sides by 7. Cross u out. V equals negative 2. You see what I did? I did the switcheroo right away. I know that I'd get negative 2 on the left, and it would say negative 2 equals v, but I flipped it because I know that that's what makes me happy. Because I'm happy. Pharrell. All right, problem 3. I have a 3 equals an x plus 3 minus 5x. Okay, again, when we're dealing with stuff like multiple things going on, I want to see if there's distributive property. If there's not, then I want to see if I can combine like terms. I have an x on the right, and I also have a negative 5x on the right. I know they're not right next to each other, but that's like if you're making dinner and you decide that you're going to put out a carrot and then have a bunch of other things, and on the other side of your dinner table you have more carrots. You're not going to be like, well, those are different. No, combine them even though they're not next to each other. X take away 5x is the same thing as saying I have 1x minus 5, and 1 minus 5 is negative 4, so x minus 5x is negative 4x. 3 drops down on the left, equal sign drops down 2, and positive 3 drops down on the right. Now, when we continue doing this problem, it's going to look like I made a mistake, but let it be known, I never make a mistake. Is x all by itself? No. What's in the way? Negative 4 is being multiplied to x. Anything else? Sure, 3 is floating around. Do I get rid of the negative 4 or the 3 first? The 3. Subtract 3 from both sides. And this is where some people might think that I make a mistake. 3 minus 3 is 0, and that equals negative 4x. Now, people are like, 0, I did something wrong. No, you didn't. 0 is a number, and you're allowed to get 0 as an answer. And that's what we're going to do here. If I divide both sides by negative 4, divide both sides by negative 4, and cross u out, 0 divided by negative 4 is 0. So what's x going to equal? 0. So x equals 0. 0 is also the name of my cat. Look at the problem on the right. The problem on the right is x plus 3 minus 3 equals negative 6. Look at that 3 and look at that negative 3 right next to it. What's 3 minus 3? 0. So they cancel each other out. So guess what? X plus 0, or just x, equals negative 6. Done. Easy. Algebra 2, schmalgebra 2. Peh. Peh. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer. Whoa. Might be a little too close. Let me see. Now I want to do 5. Zoom. Let me do the zoom. Let me fix the zoom. Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's much better. Although I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Uh-oh, turn off the light. Okay. Too close. Better. All right, I think that'll do. Problem 5. I have negative 12. Let me fix the zoom, adjust the zoom a little bit. All right. I have negative 12 equals 3 minus 2k minus 3k. What do I do first? Well, negative 2k is right next to negative 3k, which means I can combine them. If I owe, and this is real life, kids, if I owe somebody 2 kangaroos and I owe somebody else 3 kangaroos, well, by golly, don't I owe people 5 kangaroos? You do. Negative 12 lives on the left. Equals is still there. 3 is still there. And then I have minus 5k. Is k all by itself? No. What's in the way? I have a negative 5 being multiplied and a 3 floating around. Do I get rid of the 3 floating around or the negative 5 being multiplied? Always get rid of the number floating around. That's a positive 3. I don't care about the negative after it. That's a positive 3. And the way you get rid of a positive 3 that's floating around is you subtract 3 from both sides. So negative 12 minus 3 is negative 15. That's going to equal negative 5k. Is k all by itself? No. What's in the way? Negative 5 is being multiplied to k. How do I get rid of being multiplied to k? Divide both sides by negative 5. Cross u out. Negative 15 divided by negative 5 is a positive 3. Negative 1 equals negative 3r plus 2r. Well, look at that. I can combine like terms right away again. If you haven't noticed the theme to today's live lesson, it's that you could usually combine like terms. So I have negative 3r plus 2r. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So negative 1 equals negative 1r. Now this is just a one-step equation. Is r all by itself? No. What's in the way? Negative 1 is being multiplied to r. What do? Divide both sides by negative 1. Divide both sides by negative 1. Cross u out. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is positive 1. So even though I write out 1 equals r, I know it's r equals 1. So we did a bunch of problems that involved combining like terms, but what we haven't really done yet is distributive property. Okay, so there's really no way that I can adjust my screen without making it blurry. Let's do 7. Problem 7. Beep. I have 6 equals negative 3, and that negative 3 is being multiplied to a parentheses. When you have a number being multiplied to a parentheses, you do what's called distributive property, and you multiply that number to every single thing inside the parentheses. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And negative 3 times positive 2, negative 3 times positive 2 is negative 6, also known as minus 6. 6 equals comes along for the ride. Is x all by itself? No. What's in the way? I have a negative 3 and a negative 6 attached to it. Now, before you go crazy, that over there is a 6, and this is a negative 6. So they don't disappear like they did in a previous problem. In order to get that negative 6 gone, I need to do the opposite of negative 6, which is add 6. Add 6 to both sides. When I do 6 plus 6, I get 12, and that equals negative 3x. Is x all by itself? Now, no. What's in the way? Negative 3. What's negative 3 doing to x? It's multiplying. How do I get rid of it? Divide negative 3 from both sides, cross u out. Is x all by itself? No. Well, I mean, yes. 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. Thumbs up. That was distributive property. Problem 8. 8 is great. Negative 3 times parentheses equals negative 36. Okay, negative 3 times parentheses means that I can do distributive property. Negative 3 times 4r is negative 12r. Negative 3 times negative 8 is positive 24. Negative times a negative is a positive. So when I do distributive property and I do a negative times a negative in distributive property, I make sure I put a plus sign. Here was a negative times a positive, so it became negative 12r. That equals negative 36. Is r all by itself? No. What is in the way? Negative 12 is being multiplied to r. 24 is floating around, and it equals negative 36. Which one do I get rid of first? The negative 12 multiplied to r or the 24 added to r? Always get rid of the number that's floating around, the number that you have to add or subtract to both sides first. And in this case, I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides because that's positive 24. Bada bing. So negative 12r equals negative 36 minus 24 is negative 60. That's like if I owe somebody $36 and now I owe another $24, I owe them $60 in total. You need to get a hold of your life. If you're owing people that much money, you need to get a hold of your life. Is r all by itself? No. What's in the way? Negative 12r is being multiplied. I'm sorry, negative 12 is being multiplied to r. How do I get rid of negative 12? Divide both sides by negative 12. R equals negative 60 divided by negative 12 is positive 5. Cool, man. So cool, bro. Cool, man. Cool, bro. Cool, man. Cool, bro. Cool, bro. Take a look at that problem. All right. 6 times a parentheses right there on the right side is distributive property. 6 times negative x is negative 6x. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18 equals 24. Is x all by itself? No. Negative 6 is being multiplied to x. I also have negative 18 floating around. I'm going to add 18 to both sides. 24 plus 18 is 42 equals negative 6x. Is x all by itself? No. What's in the way? Negative 6 is being multiplied to x. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 6. Divide both sides by negative 6. Cross u out. 42 divided by negative 6 is negative 7. So let me put that right there because I know my x is going to go on the left. One more. You can do it. Put your brain into it. 75 equals 3 times negative 6n minus 5. Distributive property. 3 times negative 6n is negative 18n. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. 75 equals that. Is n all by itself? No. What's in the way? Negative 18. Let me scooch it that way. And negative 15. Do I get rid of the negative 18 that's being multiplied to n first, or do I get rid of the minus 15 that's being subtracted? Always get rid of the number that's floating around, the number that you have to add or subtract to first. So I'm going to add 15, cross you out. 75 plus 15 is 90. Drop down to negative 18n. Is n all by itself? No. What is in the way? Negative 18 is being multiplied to n, so let's divide both sides by negative 18. Divide both sides by negative 18, cross you out. 90 divided by negative 18 is negative 5, and that's going to equal n, or as I like to say, n equals negative 5. So what we did in this video, is we did a whole lot of combining like terms and a whole lot of distributive property. Okay, so that's it for these examples. We're done this page.